Okay, I'll go ahead and start today's session. Okay, yesterday we have covered Azure App Services. So today we will go ahead and begin with Azure Virtual Networks, subnets, and also we'll be covering Azure Private DNS Zones and Azure DNS Zones.
Okay.
And going back to the slides. So today also, like yesterday, we'll be going through a lot of labs. Theory will be less. Okay, so today's topics are virtual networks. What is what VNet? We'll be seeing what is the difference between a public IP and a private IP addresses, and where do we use them, and how do we create them inside the Azure. Then we'll be covering network security groups. What will be the inbound and outbound rules, and how do we create them, how they come into the picture. That we'll be seeing. Then the fourth topic is Azure DNS. So how do we create Azure DNS zones? So then how do we create the record sets? And where do we use these private DNS zones? We'll be seeing them.
Okay.
So what is a Azure Virtual Network? So, so it's same like the traditional way we have the network concepts, right? It works in the same way in Azure as well. So it basically we can scale it, the availability and isolation. It gives the isolation of your network from your other networks. It can be um, from org to org. There will be a private networks, right? So that kind of isolation it will also give, though it is on the cloud. And so basically, this is a fundamental building block for your private network. All the Azure resources like VMs, so they can securely communicate with each other over the internet and on-premise networks using this Azure Virtual Networks. So we'll be go and see this thing in detail with one lab. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go to the Azure portal first. Okay, we'll log in there and then we'll try to create a VNet. So the one which is in this big block is a VNet. So we'll be creating a VNet with some IP address range. Then we'll be creating a subnet in it. Right now in this diagram, it is showing only one subnet, but I'll go ahead and create two subnets. Subnet 1 is for the front end VMs or the front end application resources. And B, there will be one more subnet I will create that is for the backend, where we'll be keeping data like databases and other microservices or whatever the applications we want to host in the backend. So this will be the lab. This is the lab which we are going to do. So in as part of this, we'll be creating a bastions. And Bastion is nothing but this is one of the service from Azure through which we can directly connect to the VMs. So what happens if I want to connect to VM1? I need to attach one public IP address to this one. I need to then I need to log in using that public IP address to log into VM1. Similarly, I need to create one more public IP address to VM2. Then again, I need to use the second public IP address, which is attached to VM2 to log in or connect to VM2. But instead of that, I can directly attach a bastion to this subnet. This bastion will have that public IP. So this public IP will help us. So we'll be connecting to this public IP, then we'll be connecting to one of these VM1 and VM2. But in Azure, there is a bastion, a feature which, once you click on this, directly it will resolve and directly connect to VM1 or VM2. We'll be seeing that. So this is the setup. I'll go and log in. So we need to type virtual network. Virtual networks. So this is the page we get, and from here you can create a virtual network. So this is my subscription. I will go ahead and create a new subscription, new resource group. Resource group name, I'll keep like this. Tech clients is my org name, and this is the dev environment, and this is a resource group. And I will create a VNet. And so I will follow this nomenclature. Tech clients is my org name or the project name. Then this is a dev environment, and this is a VNet. Okay, and I use Central US for all my labs. So the region is Central US here. And security, in security, now that I want to use Bastion, go ahead and enable this Bastion here and give the name. So this is Bastion. Okay, the name looks good. And for this Bastion, I get a public IP address, and it says it needs to create a new public IP. I will want a suffix as a pip. Pip means public IP address, so that I can easily identify this as a public IP. So I give that name as a pip at the end, and IP addresses next. Okay, so what is IP address range? By default, it is trying to give us this IP address range. If we don't want this 10.0.0 network, you can go ahead and delete this. If you want 192 also, you can create. But this one is already given. I'll go ahead and use this. There are two default subnets. This is a default subnet, and which has the 256 IP addresses, whereas this entire VNet has 65,536 IP addresses. And you see, this is /16, whereas this one is /24. And Bastion is taking one IP range, 64 addresses it is taking. So you using this Bastion, these are like, once we create this Bastion, they act as a jump servers. Okay, so now I go ahead and create it. There will be one or two VMs they get created, and in the backend they try. This is all managed by Azure. I will show you once we create this one, right? I will show you what VMs are getting created and what are Bastion VMs, and they will sit in these two this IP range. These are default, but I need a front end and back end subnets, so that once I create any resources for my front end, I put them in that subnet. So I add a subnet, and subnet purpose, it's a default, I'll say, and name is a front end. I'll just keep FE subnet. SN means subnet. And this one is the 2.0 is the IP range for front end subnet. I will not touch anything. I'll go ahead and so one thing is we can also create a network security group, but later I will create the network security group and show you the lab. Yeah, that's all. I'll go ahead and add. So you can see the subnet for front end, and I'll quickly create the backend subnet. BE-SN is the backend subnet, and it has taken 3.0. This is 2.0, and this is 3.0. So it will show the next available IP range and /24. Not touch anything. I will just create the next subnet, review and create. Basically, it is trying to create a subnet with this IP range. Uh, as- Sorry, virtual network with this IP range, and then it is creating these subnets. There are 4 subnets in it.
So nothing we choose to, if I mean, we just change the namings and we created them. So the IPs, Azure itself gave us the available next IP series, right? Based on your subscription.
Correct.
No.
So it has given like that. And generally what happens, like in DevOps, so there will be a separate network team. Okay. So what we do, we fill the form and we tell them, okay, we need these set of IPs. So I'm going to create a new, let me open this and show you how I mean, recently I have I have onboarded a new application. What I have done is, no, not, I'll explain you in Notepad, Notepad online. So we'll place a request. Okay, what I need, what IP addresses I need. Okay, so we are onboarding a new application now. So as a DevOps engineer, we need to raise a request for the VNet for your application. So I said I need a VNet, and there will be one portal where it will show the next set of IP addresses. So when I checked, I have 192.168 dot and something like this, some 3.17.0 by they gave 22. Okay, so then I have to choose some set of IPs for my front end from this range. Okay, then some set of IPs for my backend range s- and some set for shared. Okay, I put few of the resources in the shared subnet. So how do I check? I don't go ahead and calculate. I just use some of the websites. I will say subnet calculator. Click on this IP subnet calculator. So the IP address range I got is, hmm, where is that? This one. I'll go ahead and paste that. Just want to understand how many IPs I got. Then I will, okay, this is subnet, command V. Subnet is 22. And I will remove this. Then I will say calculate. So from 16.1 till 119.254, I can take. And total 1022 IP addresses I got. Okay, and this is /22 range. What I will do, I got these IP addresses. I'll take a copy of this and then I'll put. Now I need to fill this request form, right? So what I will do, I need to mention what IBC addresses you need for front end, back end, and shared. So I will say for my front end, I need 192.168.16.1.1/24. This is for front end, and I will say 17.1 for my backend. I will say 18.1 for my shared, and rest of them I will put that in the default. Okay, that will be 19.1 in default. Okay, so this is how we raise the request and we tell, okay, we need this. Then they will go ahead and create the subnets based on this.
Okay.
And it's easy for them to create subnets, right? They just need to come here. The IP address is already blocked. So the VNet is already available here. I mean, we raise in the portal, we raise this IP range request. So the UI will be already there in few of the companies. So that block they have already given. Now I just need the subnets. They come here. Once you open this VNet, you get the option to create subnets here. So,
Okay.
so from here you can create subnets. Those are assigned and they are kept in the same resource group, the new resource group which I create. So they create in our resource group and in our subscription. Okay, that's how the work or the request flows in corporate. So this is one of them I'm saying, but most of the companies I have seen is we just raise the request. You might be much aware of how how we block the IP addresses, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
only the thing is, new thing is for me is this Azure, the resource group creation and the IP reserves, subnet creations.
Okay. Yeah, it's the VNet and the network part is same as how it works in on-premise. Same
Okay.
rules, same the basic rules. Only thing is you here in Azure you have the UI, okay, how you can create and everything. So there they log into CLI, they create, they run the commands, they carve the subnets and everything. But here it happens through UI. That's all. It's very simple actually. If you are very good at on-premise, it's very easy to learn Azure, and
Yeah, yeah.
vice versa actually. And yeah, this is how you create the VNet and subnets. So we'll go back there to the VNet and just double check what subnets we got. Where is this option? Virtual networks. Yeah, this
It's under the VNet, right? Yeah.
yeah, this is the VNet and address
Under
space.
VNet. Yeah.
So this is the address space we got /16 and subnets are this. These four subnets. Connected devices. There is one bastion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like one bastion for a whole subnet it works or where, right?
It works for the whole subnet.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
So now what I will do, I'll go ahead and create a VMs and let's try to connect. Okay, I'll go to virtual machines, create a VM. I will put the VM in the same dev resource group and I will call it VM-1. Same region. I don't need availability zone for this demonstration. Security type, standard. And I will use Ubuntu. That should be okay. And I'll take the same size which it is suggesting. I just change this to password. I will say Azure user and I'll keep some password capital P at the rate SSWORD12345. The minimum letters should be 12, so that's the reason I have to give that capital P at the rate SSWORD12345. Give none and go up. I don't need additional disks. I'll just check networking. I want to put this in the front end subnet. So once I select this subnet, what it does, this VM will take the IP address from this range. I don't need public IP address because now that I'm using Bastion,
Bastion. Yeah.
I'm not taking any public IP address. So if I'm not using Bastion, then I can take some public IP address and using that public IP address, I can connect. Okay, and none, this network security group also none, and go up, will not touch anything advanced. I'll just review and create. So I'm creating this one now. I will go ahead and create one more VM in second subnet.
Okay.
Just trying to show that, VMs in two different subnets under the same VNet. VMs in two different subnets under the same VNet can connect. So they can ping and we can connect. So that's what I want to show you today. And tomorrow on Monday, we'll be seeing inter-site connectivity. At that time, we'll try to connect between the VMs in two different regions.
Okay.
Two different regions, two different VNets.
Minutes.
Yeah, and I'll create a second VM. VM-2 standard password. I'm using the same password, same user and password for VM2 as well. Shift P at the rate SSWORD. And so this one I want to select in the back, put this in the backend subnet. I will use that, and I don't need public IP. NIC also, network security groups, I don't need none. Yeah, then review and create. Just a minute, just a second. Okay, these two resources are now ready. VM1 and VM2. I'll go to virtual machines. VM2 is ready. Where is VM1?
Error. It didn't got deployed.
Yeah, I'll try again virtual machine. I'll use the same RG VM-1. Password. This will be in the front end subnet. Review and create. Create. Just wanted to use this to show you how we are keeping these addresses. Mm, Flowcharts. Create a flowchart. So we have created a VNet, and this is the VNet. Okay, and inside this VNet, I have created one subnet. This is subnet. I'll call this front end subnet, and I created one more subnet. This is backend
Okay.
subnet. Yeah, backend subnet, and this has some IP range. That IP range is 10.0.2.0 slash 6E24. Okay, and this one is having 10.0.3.0 slash 24. This VNet has got IP range of 10.0.0.0 slash 16. So this is the entire VNet, and we have this subnet and this subnet. I kept one a VM here, okay, and one VM here. So what I'm trying to show you is that the VM which is inside the front-end subnet, which got some IP from this, and the VM which is in this, right, they are able to communicate because they are within the subnet.
Yes.
So that's what I'm trying to show. And I'll go back.
It's like in the same VNet, so it's gonna ping allow us to ping each other without any rules.
Correct. Yeah. So they can connect. So I'll go back, go to home, VNet. So I have two of them. So this one, and I will duplicate. So how do you connect to VM is you just need to click on connect. So if you are using public IP, you can click this one. Then it will give you an option to download some small file. Then it will, once you click on that, it will, try to connect to your VM. But now that we are using Bastion, Bastion is a web-based, so it will allow you to connect in the browser itself. Password and give ID and password. I'll click on connect. pop-up blocker, but I will uncheck that so that I can connect in the same tab. Connected to VM1 there. Now I'll try to connect to VM2. Click on connect with Bastion. See, I'm connected to my Ubuntu box, and here you can see that. And I will try to ping. Let's see, ping C4. Then I will call VM-2. So you can see that I'm getting response from VM2. Okay, 4 packets are sent, and I got response. Received response from them. Similarly, let me try to connect from VM2. So this is my VM2, and I'll say ping hyphen C, ping hyphen C, then my VM is VM1. Okay, ping hyphen C, then I want to check by sending 4 packets, then yeah. So I'm getting response. So both the VMs are able to communicate within the VNet. Okay, now let's see the network security groups. Where do we use the network security groups and all? Before that, I just kept these slides because I thought a few of them might know. I'm sure that you are very much aware of this private IP address
Yeah.
range and public IP addresses. So I will skip this slide. I'll go to the next slide, which is NSG. So what is an NSG? So NSG is a network security group, which it is used to filter network traffic between Azure resources in Azure Virtual Network. A network security group contains security rules. This contains security rules, just like firewall. You can add the rules that will allow or deny inbound network traffic to or outbound network traffic from several type of Azure resources. And there are few default security rules. So once you create a network security group, there are few set of rules which come default. So these are the default security rules. Some of the interviews viewers will ask, what is NSG? What are the default security rules? How many of them will come? So this is one of the interview question as well. So what are the inbound default rules? So by default, inbound means whatever the traffic which is coming to the VNet. Outbound means what are the traffic which is going out. So you can also say inbound is like ingress and outbound traffic is egress. So what are the ingress rules? So the traffic which is coming in, so there will be a security check happening. So allow VNet inbound. So it will allow VNet inbound. So any VNets in Azure or within your subscriptions can connect. Okay, try can make can give a call. So this is allowed and access is allowed. So from source IP should be VNet and destination IP is VNet. So any resource will sit under VNet. So this is allowed. And any request coming from another VNet in the same subscription, it is allowed. And Azure load balancer inbound. So similarly, load balancers. So we keep some of the VMs under load balancers, right? So those requests are also allowed. And apart from these two, everything are denied. And similarly, outbound rules are like that. So allow VNet outbound. So you can make calls to the resources sitting in other VNets. Allow internet outbound. So you can make calls to the any of the resources or any of the sites you are making calls. Deny all outbound. So apart from these two, deny all outbound. And you see this priority number 65,000, 65,001, 65,500. So more, you can give any of the number ranging from 1 to 65,500. Lesser the number, higher the priority. Lesser the number, higher the priority. So if I want to override all these, I need to give a number with priority which is lesser than these three. So that rule will be checked first. Then it goes to the next priority or the number which is higher. So that how's the inbound rules work. There is one more slide on the augmented security rules, service tags. I will create an NSG, then I will explain you this, then it will be more clear. Going back to the portal, then I'll keep the VMs as it is. VNets, not VNets. I will type network security groups, network security group. So I can see the network security groups here. I will go ahead and create one. I'll put everything in dev.rg because right now I'm trying to build my network for the dev environment. And instance name, this is NSG. Tech clients, we follow the same nomenclature. Tech clients hyphen dev is the environment, then this is NSG. Same region. Mm, Review and create. Click on create. Okay, go to resource. Mm, You see, this is the overview, and this is the resource group name, subscription, and right now there are no rules, zero inbound and zero outbound rules. And we did not associate this to any subnets or network interface. I will come to this part, association part, once I explain you this. So as mentioned, so these are the inbound security rules, and these are the outbound security rules, the default one. So you can, under settings, you can see inbound security rules. Let me go ahead and add one more inbound security rule. I will say my IP address. I want to connect to any of the VMs. So I need this. So I will whitelist my IP address. So this is my IP address, and source port can be any, star means any, and destination is also any. I'll keep everything as it is. Then I will give the name, hello, my IP, and I will click on add. So it has added this IP address. In general, we will also add one more thing, that is IP addresses. So in my organization or any of the organization, what we do is there will be a lot of VNets, not only us. So if you take a big organizations where um, there will be like more than 2,000, 3,000, more than, a lot of employees will be there and they have their own intranet, right? So there will be a tower IPs. Okay, tower IPs are the end routers, edge routers. Okay, that will, so that those IPs should be whitelisted so that you can communicate within your intranet. Okay, so I will I will add some of my tower IPs. Just randomly, I'm giving some IP addresses. You can just take this as the tower IPs of your organization. 12 dot 13
So
dot.
tower IPs means something like the location whitelist IPs you're saying you're talking about. Or if we have a branch in Hyderabad and if we have a branch in Pune, they have a set of rules set up with one particular IP, right? So like how they get it from internet provider and they allow in the group. Are
Correct.
these IPs or those or anything different?
Something like that. Mm, I'll show you with X.
Because I never heard about these tower IPs, so that's why.
I'm just calling them as tower IPs, but there will be a different names. A few of them may call the edge routers or like that. Where is this? And okay, so it's like you have this. This is your VNet, and there are few other VNets. Multiple VNets are there. Okay, then at the end, they are on the top layer, right? They are all connected to a edge router before it actually goes out of your organization, right?
Yes,
So this is the edge router. So this is edge router. Okay, and you are trying to connect. So this is also connected to this, and this one is also connected to this. Okay, like that, so many VNets are there. They are all connected to this router, right? Now, if you don't whitelist this router here in this VNet, the packet request will not go to the internet. It will drop here, right? I'm trying to access a website which is hosted outside internet, but my request packet has to pass through from here
yeah,
to go out and fetch the data and bring it back to this, and it has to flow back here. So this is the tower IP of that region. There will be, it is a edge router of that region. Like if you are in Florida, the Florida premises has one edge router, and Hyderabad has one edge router. So edge router of Hyderabad will, there will be one IP. I need to whitelist that. I need to whitelist this because these are all intranet. I want to communicate between the within the intranet. So these edge routers, you can take them as a tower IPs. So that we need to whitelist so that we can have a flow between your intranet and also to the internet.
got it.
So that's the thing. I will say this is 32 slash 124.12.10.32. So like this, you can IP whitelist them. So generally what happens when you are creating or building a new environment, and once you deploy and do everything, and you are not able to access some of the resources which are over the internet. So then this tower IP is coming into the picture. Okay, they will tell you, okay, these are the tower IPs which you need to IP whitelist. Then you go ahead and add them here in this network security group. Okay, and you will say allow them, and I will say the name as allow tower IPs. Okay, coming back to this one, source IP address range. So I have kept two IPs. So in general, when I actually, configured this, there were like 30 to 40 IP addresses which I have whitelisted here, and everything I have kept it here in a single block. So multiple IP addresses I can keep here and whitelist them. If it doesn't allow in that scenario, I need to keep single IP address and I need to do. But mm, NSG will allow this augmented security rule. Augmented security rule is nothing but it will allow multiple IP addresses to keep. You can combine multiple ports, multiple explicit IP addresses and ranges into a single and easily understood security rule. So that is nothing but augmented security rule. So the one which I just tried to show you is augmented security rule, where I am trying to whitelist multiple IP addresses. Okay,
Got
that,
it.
yeah. And I went ahead and I added. So this is augmented security rule, and this is some IP I have whitelisted. Okay, and outbound rules, I'm not touching any outbound rules. The next thing is about network interfaces and subnets. The main thing, if somebody asks about network security group, is that you need to tell that it is about rules. And second thing is you can associate this network security group only to two of the resources. One is subnets, not VNet, only subnets, and one is NIC, network interface card. So like uh, let's take one example. You are in one of the community, and there and the community is a gated community. You have a security at the main gate, okay, and you have a security in each block. Okay, there is a security at main gate and there is a security at the block. Uh, and or we can take one more example. Yeah, let's continue with the same example. So main gate has a security that will allow Zomato or Swiggy or any visitors inside. Okay, and at the tower they will not allow to the flats or the floor. They will say, okay, keep the whatever the delivery is there, keep it here, and they will come from their flat and they will collect at the tower, at the security guard at the tower. Okay, that means the rules or the instructions given at the main gate are different. The rules or the instructions which are given at the tower are different. Okay, so when I create some network security group which I want to associate to the VMs, I can associate to a NIC card. So the NIC card is more, is attached to one of the VMs. So that VM will have those rules, what to allow, what to not allow, like that. For subnet, if you are associating this NSG to the subnet, that will have set of rules. So here in this example which I have taken, the subnet is nothing but the main gate, and the tower or the block security is nothing but NIC card. I can give one more example. If you are going to a college, okay, parents or visitors are allowed to the office, to the canteen, not to the block where the classes are going on. So the security will not allow the parents or the visitors to go to the block where all the classes are happening. The security will block and tell you, okay, sir, you are not allowed here. That means the security guard at uh, the learning center have a different instructions, whereas
Yeah,
the security guard at the main gate, canteen or office has a different rules or instructions. So the rules will change.
got it.
So these NSGs, you attach them, these set of rules, NSGs, you can attach them to subnet or a NIC card. So now I have an option to associate it. Let me try to associate this to a NIC card. So how you can associate? So these can be associated to these two VMs. It says these are, I think these are the NIC cards of,
The virtual machines we created.
I think Bastion. The virtual machines we created are VM1, VM2, right? So I will go back to the subnets. Let me try to associate this NIC card to the front end. I will try that. Okay, this is VNet, and I can associate this to front end subnet.
Okay.
That means all the rules which are there, inbound and outbound security rules, are applied to this entire subnet, the
Yes.
front end subnet. And these are applied to all the VMs or whatever the IP addresses, which are resources which are there in this front-end subnet, those for all those resources, these rules are applied. So this is
But
one, yeah. So this is one thing you need to keep in mind. This can be associated to NIC card and subnets.
okay. Only specific instances, if we have special request, then we can do it for direct NIC cards on the virtual machine
Yes, from here also you can associate, or also from the VM
from the
also you can,
VM networking part. Yeah.
yeah, networking you can associate. And there is one more thing. This thing you can also check. This comes very handy. Effective security rules. I want to check which rule to which resource this is associated. So that also you can check from here.
Oh, really? Okay.
So
So
this,
if there are multiple VMs, it will show the multiple VMs and the subnet connected to the VMs. Okay.
yeah. So this VM1 and this network interface has card has this NSG associated. Okay, and
It's
yeah.
effective security rules. Okay.
So
Not
this
bad.
is, yeah. So this is about security groups. See this. So now that we already have the firewall, so there will be a firewall at the org level.
Yes.
Okay, so that firewall we'll be also covering in the next classes, but um, firewall will be at the org level, but this thing is at the subnet and network interface card level.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay, going back to the slides. So service tag is one more thing. A service tag represents a group of IP addresses prefixes from given Azure services. It helps me minimize the complexity of frequent updates on network security rules. I'll go back to NSG, then I want to show you this. Say inbound, click on inbound, click add. Here is the service tag. So I want to whitelist the entire VNet. Okay, VNet 2, which is in other region. I want to whitelist the entire thing. I just want to whitelist that VNet. So you can also do that. And you say the VNet. So you can see hello VNets. This is already done. Hello VNets. So this is how it is done. And you can choose other one also. Maybe key vault. Yeah, I want to whitelist the key vaults. So you can also whitelist them here. Hello key vaults. So what is happening with this is that if you are allowing key vaults, so whatever the IPs you have given to the key vaults in your org, right? Those all key vaults will be whitelisted.
Okay.
You may not be maintaining, it's very difficult task for you, right? To um, you know maintain a list of IP addresses given to all the key vaults. So what you can just do is that allow key vaults. So this will allow all the key vaults, and the VMs will be able to access the key vaults from once you whitelist that.
Understood. It's like a blanket approval for the one
Okay,
particular tag to all
correct.
the subnet.
Yeah, to all the key vaults which are there. So suppose I'm trying to access, the developer is trying to access a secret uh, from the VM where he hosted his website. It is not a, he is not getting any response, and it feels that it is not able to access secret. Then you can come and check here, okay, whether this is whitelisted or not. Then once you try to whitelist this and try it again, most probably it will work. So
Got it.
yeah, that's how this will work. Okay, this is about the service tags, and we have done this. Then Azure DNS. There are last two topics. I will show you this. Azure DNS. I'll type DNS zones. We can go ahead and create one domain for us. Okay, I'll say dev, and my is techlinessystems.com is one of the domain which I'm using. I don't have anything, then I will go ahead and create. So yesterday we have seen a domain and in GoDaddy, right, which I already
Yes.
bought from
Yeah.
there. This is the place where you can create DNS. Sorry, you can create your domain and start using it. You can create record sets like address records, CNAME records, TXT records, the other records you can create. So once this one is created, then you can also create subdomains. This gives a option to create subdomains. Like for examples, I have this techlinesystems.com, which is my organization. But for a dev environment, I will I want to test my application which is hosted in dev environment. Then what I will do in the browser, I will type dev.techlines.com. Then it will navigate to my dashboard of Techline Systems. So I'm also maintaining another environment which is a test environment. That domain name is test.techlinesystems.com. So I need to create all of them under this particular domain. So how do we create that? I'll go ahead and come here and I will create that. I'll say dev.techlinesystems.com. Then I will say cname.
So it's the same like how we created DNS A records on our Windows domain controllers.
Yeah, same. It's the same thing. Just that, now that the same option has to be provided here in the DNS, um, y- in Windows we have this DNS, right? Same
Yes.
similar way we create these records here. So what we are trying, so I generally create a CNAME record here, and I will say, so I will put the alias here. So we'll come to one concept called application gateways. Okay, there under application gateway, we'll have this app services. Okay, what happens once you create application gateway, you get one URL. I come take that and keep it here. Okay, what
Yeah, it's
happens?
like when they deploy the application with the tenant ID, they create a home page for that. So we need to create alias for that home page, whatever the page name they are talking about, and we create alias name here, CNAME here.
Correct. And as you said, instead of using that URL, I will use this URL. Then that gets navigated to that one.
Got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So I use application gateway here, or else if we are hosting on VM, you use a load balancer, right? That load balancer will also get one URL. That URL also you can keep here.
yeah, the file load balancer one, and it will have the again two or three systems in backend. Yeah, I understood.
Yeah. So basically, what is happening? You are trying to hit this URL dev.techlinesystem.com. The request packet will transfer to this particular URL which you have given here. From there, the request packet will go down depending on the logic which is there on the resource. If it is a load balancer, the load balancer will have some logic to forward your request to the edge resource. Similarly,
Got it.
application gateway will have. So those kind of records you can create here. So this this is about DNS zones. There is one more private DNS zones. Private DNS zones. In LAN, right, intranet, what happens if you are adding a new laptop or a desktop to your intranet? What happens? That particular system get registered in DNS, right, with the name of that VM or um, system with some IP address, correct?
Yes.
In a DNS. So similarly, how we can maintain them here is you create a private DNS zone. If you take, for example, right now I have created few VMs in the VNets, VM1, VM2. So if I type from VM1, it is now that they are in the same VNet, it is getting resolved and they are able to connect. But when I try it from a different VNet, the different VNet, the VM in a different VNet will not come to know that is VM1 or VM2.
Okay.
Okay. So in that scenario, we use this DNS private DNS zone. So this will maintain the records, private DNS zones. Come here and I will show you. Hmm, I'll say tech clients, F1P DNS, F1Dev.com.
Okay. It's something like
Yeah, go ahead.
no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm not touching any of them. Right now, I will show you. Create. Go back to the slides. So Azure Private DNS Zone. If you check here, Private DNS Zone provides a reliable, secure DNS service to manage resolved domain names in a virtual network without the need to add a custom DNS solution. So without manually adding the names or IPs, and by using private DNS zones, you can use your own custom domain names rather than the Azure provided names available today. So I have created my own custom domain name. So it is a private within the org, or it is internet. Sometimes we use some domains like -intranet.com or like that. So that kind of thing you can maintain here. The records contained in a private DNS zone aren't resolvable from the internet. So the records which we create in this private DNS zones are not accessible over the internet. The naming systems won't work. Uh, DNS resolution against a private DNS zone works only from virtual networks that are linked to it. So this
So it's
resolution,
like we create a virtual. I mean, we create a private zone and add to the uh, virtual network in the organization. So it will ping in between the organization from the network, but not from the outside.
correct, correct.
Got it.
Yeah, and you see, I created the resource
Mhm.
as like this. But did I include or create any links to the VNet? No, I did not.
No.
Yeah, so if I come back and see the record sets, I don't have any records. Now I need the
Yes.
records, the VM records of that, right? Name and IPs of the VNets. So I will go ahead and associate a VNet. So link name is tech clients, dev, VNet, PDNS, and link. I will say this is my virtual network. This is my virtual network. And so we need to make sure that we have to check this box. This is important because once you enable auto registration, what happens? It directly will fetch the new additions or removals and it will update the records. Or else you have, if you don't enable this, you have to manually add, which is a very headache thing for us. So I'll enable this, then I'll go ahead and create. So after this particular step, I am expecting that the VMs which I created, those get, those records get added here. Go
Yeah,
back. Yeah. So refresh.
I think it's not yet done. It's still taking
Yeah. You can see here creating virtual network link.
21% complete. Yeah.
So once this is linked, you will be able to see them, see the records here. So with that, we will be done with today's lab.
Still fetching.
Okay,
Yeah,
this
I
link is
think now we can.
added. Yeah, I can
Yeah,
see them. VM1, VM2 are here. And also you see these two are the VMs. I was telling you, right? Bastion will create some VMs.
yeah,
And the Bastion has taken this IP range,
1.4 1.
1.4 and 1.5. So basically, when I'm trying to connect a VM1, VM2, these two VMs are helping us. Same like jump boxes and all, right?
Yeah,
So but the back end and everything will be managed by Azure. So
Azure.
it is a seamless thing process. I click on connect using Bastion, it directly navigates me to the CLI. Okay, so this is how, yeah, so these are the records. So this is about private DNS zone. And yeah, with this, I've completed today's session. And what we have covered today is we have covered what is virtual network, how do we create virtual networks, how do we create subnets. We have seen network security groups. We have seen inbound rules, outbound rules. How do we add inbound rules? How do we add? We did not see outbound rules, but we add it in the same way, outbound rules. And what are default rules? How many default rules will come? What type of default rules will come when you create an NSG? We have seen that. We have seen what is augmented IP address. We have also seen service tags. Okay, and we have seen Azure DNS zones and also the private DNS zones. So these are all covered today. And in the next, on Monday, we'll start at 8 a.m. and we'll continue the network part. And we still have the inter-site connectivity. And also we have a load balancer, front door application gateways, Azure application gateways. So these all needs to be covered. The network part is a 3 day session. Today is the first session. The second session will be on Monday. The third session will continue on Tuesday.
Okay.
And after that, we'll continue with the VMs. Okay, virtual machines.
Okay.
Okay, any questions on today's topics?
No,
Yeah,
no questions at all because I had a little bit familiar before, so it make me easy.
great,
But a lot of things were not known. I learned things like Bastion, NSGs, ports, the some new things in this session. Yeah.
great. Yeah, good to know, Amar. Thanks for your time and good night. It's it's already late, maybe
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fine.
it's 12 you said, right? Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
11:45. Now I need to talk to my daughter. So it takes another half an hour. So no problem. See you.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.